My name is Aramis. I've been in love with martial arts since I was 5 years old. As a kid, I grew up watching Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. I remember begging my mother to join a martial arts class. Yeah, that's me. I wanted to be those characters. It wasn't until I got older that I fully appreciated the martial arts as a whole. Now, with the popularity of MMA, I wanted to find out how has MMA changed other martial arts. So, I decided to go on this journey and search for those answers. And I met some friends along the way. Through some fieldwork and help from my friend Adam Swindell, I acquired some information about his school in downtown Manhattan, which focuses on Muay Thai. Adam introduced me to the crew at Square Circle, where I witnessed some hardcore training. I had to find out about this place and the style and see if MMA has changed Muay Thai. Luckily, I had the chance to sit down with one of their own. My name is Aramis. What's your name?
Hi, Aramis. I'm Rob Rogan. I'm one of the co-owners and the head instructor here at Square Circle, New York.
Okay, and how long have you been here?
The gym itself has been here a little bit over 3 years. I myself have been involved in martial arts for about 20 years. I feel that MMA is good for combat sports, and it's good for the industry, the martial arts industry as a whole. You have to remember the moniker of MMA basically means mixed martial arts. It's 3 different platforms that you can base everything off of.
Okay.
Your striking, your submissions, and the ground game or the grappling. The rise of the UFC promotion has exponentially exposed martial arts as a whole. It's kind of funny because I say this as a whole, but individually you'll have different places. So renewed interest in karate, renewed interest in taekwondo, another interest in boxing, more interest in the grappling games, in wrestling, and shoot boxing. There's just so many different platforms, and today it's good because it gives people choices of what they want to do. And when they see the UFC on TV as the big proponent, the purveyor of mixed martial arts, they see what kind of shape that a lot of the athletes are in, both men and women.
Right.
And people understand, once again, that they can correlate fitness with martial arts. And this is the reason why it's booming now. This is the reason why there are a plethora of gyms that are able to start like small businesses. The style of teaching has not changed as far as my focus. My focus for my school has always been about footwork, has always been about head movement, has always been about cutting angles. Knowing how to punch and move and slip and counter, these are all hallmarks of good striking. And every single martial artist, whether you're in MMA or whether you're in jiu-jitsu, whether you're in wrestling, you all need to know how to strike properly.
On day 2, I got a lead from a friend, Mark Scott, who led me to a boxer in the Bronx. When I got there, I caught him in the middle of a training session with one of his pupils, and I decided to introduce myself and see if boxing had been affected by MMA.
So what's your name?
I'm Hiram. How you doing?
Aramis, nice to meet you.
I live in Manhattan. I was raised in the Bronx, this area right here. Back in the 70s, my uncles and my cousins were in like Vietnam and all that. So they kind of showed me like little moves here when I was a baby, pretty much a kid. And I just like whatever. But then started living around here in the Bronx, you got to defend yourself. So the streets kind of got me into defense fighting. From there, I just got into Wing Chun when I was 7 years. Then later on, boxing came into play because the footwork I already had. The boxing has more dance to it, and I like that. I like that, that flow. So the UFC, back when it came out on television, it's actually mixed martial arts. Judo versus taekwondo, jiu-jitsu versus karate. That was mixed, but it's not like before. Boxing is always going to be boxing. It's going to change depending on the fighters. Like certain fighters are boring, some fighters are exciting, and it just brings it up. It's like MMA, you want to see a knockout quick.
Right.
You don't mind a first round knockout in MMA, but in boxing, first round knockout is very disappointing. Boxing's a poor man's sport. I got into it because I could teach somebody. It's all about the kids, the teenagers. They need a little guidance, especially in the area I'm at. It's the only one in the Bronx, Castle Hill. There's a lot of lost kids there. They just need that guidance, and when they get that guidance, they're just like, where's Mr. H at, It's like, I like that impact. I didn't do anything for a lot of years because I was an alcoholic for a long time.
Okay.
And I'm 5 years sober. So I had that tool, and I had these other tools to bring me back to now, to what I'm doing now. MMA is not a phase. It's going to keep going. Boxing is not a phase. It's going to keep going.
Meeting all these martial artists made me feel that I needed to go back home. And what better way than to go back to my old teacher and see what he feels about MMA. How you doing, sir? What's your name? Can you tell us something about yourself?
My name is Master Rafael Spider Rodriguez. I got into Taekwondo because of my dancing. I've been dancing since I was about 6 years old. My teacher, the legendary Joseph Hayes, used to live in the same block where I used to live. I'm his first black belt. MMA as a whole is not basically for sport unless they cut down on the violence of brutal beating. Because if it's going to be a sport, I feel that it should be more like you show me your best technique and I show you mine. I think it's too brutal. I think that's more for the street. If you're going to make sure that this is going to be taking off as a sport, they should show more techniques instead of brutal breaking. I hope it changed to the best, so they could show it like they do in Taekwondo. In Taekwondo, we go for point system. We don't break nobody's nose. Some people break their legs because of the kicking. If you kick and I kick at the same time, one of us is going to get a broken leg. But I hope it will change for the best, because there will not be that much blood. If it's as a sport, okay, I would allow them just for point system to show the best man. Other than that, to compete, to get beat down, no, I don't think so. I would like them to change it to a point where I could shake him the same way I come in and shake him as my way out, and with nothing broken. In boxing, you're only using your punching. In MMA, you're using elbows, knees, legs, turning back fists, everything. So, and you don't know, one of those shots could kill you. Okay, this is one of the reasons they're banging it from New York City, because there's going to be an accident. Once there will be an accident, I think they'll bang it from everywhere. It's not bad. It will help any fighter, to become a better, well-rounded black belt, because 90% of the fights end up in the ground. And if you don't know how to fight from the ground, then you don't know how to fight at all. I never change my style. I'm a Taekwondo stylist, but I like to incorporate different systems into my Taekwondo. Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, so that anything that has to do so you become a well-rounded black belt. You got people who just stick to tradition and they don't want to change. They just want to stick to strictly Taekwondo, strictly Japanese karate, strictly Judo, and they don't want to move. I like to move. I like to learn more something different every day. The more I learn from different people, I incorporate more into my system. Because you never know who's going to grab you out there in an elevator, or in an alley, or in the street. So you have to know how to fight from behind you, in the front, from the side, whichever. Martial art to me is my life. I live martial art. I love to train. I train 7 days a week. I like to keep in shape. I'm going to be 68 years old this month. And some people tell me I still look young. I feel young. I feel like if I was 19 years old, if I could have to rumble with any young guy in the street, I think I could take him out.
I'm pretty sure you have. Well, thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure. In my journey, I found that MMA and traditional martial arts go hand in hand, creating a new bridge in self-defense, healthy lifestyle, and entrepreneurship. Hate it or love it, MMA is here to stay. It has left an impact in the world of martial arts. And me.